Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning to you. It's Thursday, August 31st.
That's right. Friday Eve and the last day of August, and maybe not officially the last day of the hot weather, but at least it's going to get better.
Another nice morning, though, out there for sure. 80 degrees at San Antonio International. Justin?
Temperatures are warming up, and you're right. Once we get into September, our mindset kind of changes a little bit. We start to feel like maybe there's some fronts on the way. We're going to talk about the timing of our average first front coming up here in just a little bit. But first, let's take a look at the forecast today, and it's more of the same. 102 here in San Antonio today, 104 in Laredo. Most of Texas is going to be very, very hot, mostly sunny. Not a lot changes there. What about the football forecast? There are some games tonight. Kickoff, 98 degrees, mostly sunny. Sunset is at 7:57. By halftime, we're down to 93. At least it will be less humid. We're not looking for a lot of humidity this evening, so it should be nice in that regard, but still hot. As we go outside for you right now, again, 80 degrees, and here are some of the weather headlines. 63 and counting. That's the number of triple-digit days. They keep piling up. Today will be 64. And what about that first front? We look at the climatology. When would we expect it? It's not in the forecast anytime soon, but we'll talk about when we may see a cold front. And drought. The drought monitor is in, and the exceptional drought grows, includes San Antonio. We'll show you that as well coming up here in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Looking out there with TransGuide, it appears we have an accident there at I-35 at New Braunfels Avenue, but it looks like it's all on the shoulder lane at this hour. People are still going by.
This is the one we were looking at right before the newscast, Steph, and it actually shows two accidents in this area that happened about 10 or 15 minutes apart. But again, it's all on the shoulder. This is 35 southbound at New Braunfels Avenue. Top stories we're following this morning. We're hoping to learn more today about a deadly shooting outside a Home Depot near Southwest Loop 410 on Highway 151. It happened last night just before 10 o'clock. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus released very limited information on what was the second shooting of the day yesterday by police.
Chief McManus said everything started with investigators following a stolen car that was also linked to some recent car burglaries. Once in the Home Depot parking lot, police shot and killed one man, and an officer was injured, but it's not clear how. Chief McManus did say the suspect and the passenger in the car both had criminal records.
Earlier in the day yesterday, San Antonio police were involved in another shooting, this time on the city's southeast side on I-10. Police say a 40-year-old man opened fire on drivers and officers on the highway yesterday afternoon. He was shot by police and died from his injuries. One officer was injured during the incident, but is expected to be okay.
This shooting started after the suspect realized that San Antonio Police Department Street Crimes Unit was tracking him. So he was going westbound on I-10 near the South New Braunfels exit when police say he crashed into a patrol car and hit another vehicle. Police tell us that the suspect then got out of his vehicle and started shooting while trying to carjack another driver. All of this again coming to an end when the suspect was shot by police.
The recent string of shootings involving police all began last week, and yesterday the man accused of shooting or wounding 3 SAPD officers was ordered to stay in jail without bond. Jesse Garcia's bail in 4 unrelated cases was revoked during a hearing yesterday morning. Garcia is accused of shooting San Antonio police officers trying to take him into custody on outstanding warrants last Thursday. 2 of the 3 officers were critically injured, but they are out of the hospital and continue to recover from their injuries at home.
And here's today's 9 at 9.
IDALIA is hammering Georgia and the Carolinas as a tropical storm now after wreaking havoc on the Gulf Coast of Florida. Authorities have confirmed at least 1 storm-related death in Georgia when a tree fell on a man trying to clear a road. IDALIA is expected to head out to sea this afternoon.
The death toll continues to rise in South Africa after a huge fire tore through a 5-story building in Johannesburg. The fire has since been extinguished, and rescue crews are going floor by floor, looking for survivors and pulling out bodies of those who didn't make it. The cause of the fire remains unclear, but right now it doesn't appear to be deliberate.
The mayor of Uvalde wants District Attorney Christina Mitchell to step down. According to a written statement linked to a lawsuit, Mayor Don McLaughlin claims Mitchell is blocking the city's investigation into the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School last year. Mitchell is in charge of the criminal investigation into the shooting and said she plans on presenting evidence to a grand jury before the end of the year.
New concerns about the safety of baby formula and how it's produced. The FDA sent warning letters to 3 of the top infant formula makers over quality control concerns. This comes after the major shortage last year. But the good news is that the FDA says products currently on the market are safe, thanks to previous recalls, which were effective.
2 credit card giants are reportedly ready to hike fees that stores pay to take their cards. Visa and MasterCard are on track to raise fees later this fall and into next spring. A consulting company that works with merchants says those fees could add about $500 million to what stores are already paying.
Busy Labor Day weekend travel begins today. The FAA expects to have at least 52,000 flights in the air, and millions of other Americans are expected to hit the road. Between tomorrow and Wednesday, the TSA expects 14 million people will travel by plane, which they say would be an 11% hike from Labor Day last year.
Investigators now want to know what was going on with plans for a big glass building that Tesla may have been working on in the Austin area. Both the SEC and federal prosecutors in New York are looking into what was known at Tesla as Project 42 and whether company funds were being used to build a house for CEO Elon Musk.
Your next pasta dinner may be more expensive. The drought in Canada and bad weather in Europe are combining to push up wheat prices. Supplies of wheat used for semolina flour are at a 22-year low.
A price hike for Sony PlayStation users. Sony says PlayStation Plus annual subscriptions will increase $20 for its lowest tier and $40 for its highest. Sony says the hike will allow the company to offer better games. A new game lineup will debut over the next month. And that's today's 9 at 9. 80 morning headlines, the latest on U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell and the reason some kids might have lost their Medicaid health insurance.
Plus, Travis Scott is headed back out on tour, and a bull in a car is just something you have to see for yourself. David Sears is here with all of your morning headlines.
I knew it was good video when you started laughing out loud in the middle of the newsroom.
This is more bull than you've ever had in one story. Wait till we get to this one. You'll like it. But first, let's start with this. Some major concerns for the health of Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. For the second time in the last few weeks, the 81-year-old just froze up and stared into space in the middle of an answer to a question during a press conference. The first time lasted about 20 seconds. Yesterday, he froze up for about 30 seconds just as he was starting to answer a question. One of his staff had to come over and check on him.
What are your thoughts on running for re-election in 2026?
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
After about 30 seconds, McConnell was able to pick back up. After both pausing incidents, his staff now says he felt lightheaded and in recent months has fallen twice. After one fall, he suffered a concussion and a broken rib. After yesterday's incident, his staff says he is headed to see the doctor. All this happening to the 81-year-old while there is also concern for Dianne Feinstein. The 90-year-old senator from California is in a wheelchair and recently was confused during a vote and had to be assisted by a staff member. There's also been some concern about President Joe Biden, who on occasion sounds incoherent when speaking. If you or you know someone who has a child that lost Medicaid health coverage, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid says it could be because of some errors in systems across the country. The CMS sent letters to all 50 states requesting they take a close look at their systems to figure out why specifically children lost coverage, and then they want them to fix it. According to officials, the eligibility systems in several states aren't programmed correctly. Millions of people lost their Medicaid coverage after a COVID policy expired back in April. The CMS asking states to take action immediately. It has been 2 years since 10 people were killed at a concert in Houston put on by rapper Travis Scott. Now Scott is headed back out on tour. The concert took place at Astroworld along with the 10 people who were killed. There were hundreds injured. The tragedy was investigated. Scott was cleared of any wrongdoing. However, he is still facing several lawsuits by families of victims. His new tour starts in October in Charlotte, North Carolina. He'll perform in 28 cities, including Dallas and Austin. Doesn't look like he will be coming to Houston or San Antonio. All right, you ready to laugh? Just pause for a moment and imagine seeing that driving down the highway here in San Antonio. This is happening in Nebraska. That is Howdy Doody getting a ride with his owner, Lee Meyer. So in order for the huge Watusi bull to fit. Lee took off the passenger door, put on a cow panel gate kind of thing, took off part of the roof of his Ford sedan, and then cut off half the front windshield so Howdy Doody had room to stick his head out with those long horns. When Meyer pulled into Norfolk, didn't take long for the police to pull him over.
The officers received a call reference a car driving into town that had a cow in it. They thought that it was going to be, like a calf, something smaller, something that actually fit inside the vehicle.
Oh, no. It fit, but you had to make some adjustments to the vehicle. So Meyer ended up getting off with just a warning and a stern invitation for him and Howdy Doody to get out of town. So as they hightailed it for the city limits, Howdy Doody left a little something behind for the town to remember the experience.
Hey, Farmers Insurance, are you watching?
Wow.
That's I saw that, I busted out laughing. We need a good laugh every now and then, and that provided for a lot of folks.
He doesn't look scared.
No, he's cruising.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times do you see dogs stick their head out the window, driving down the highway, loving it, wind blowing in their
Wow.
I wonder
fur?
if Howdy Doody is paying attention to the hood ornament. Maybe that's what he's really watching, right?
He's like, I better be on my best behavior here.
Yes, and that's no bull. All right, David Sears.
Unbelievable.
Story of the week. Thank you very much, sir. 9:09, 81 degrees.
Coming up next on GMSA at 9.
Good morning. Locals are shining the light on organ and tissue donations in communities of diverse ethnicities. Details on an event bringing awareness and honoring heroes who donated next.
Today is the final day of National Multi-Ethnic Donor Awareness Month, and local organizations are focusing on saving and improving the quality of life of diverse communities.
Tiffany Huertas joins us live from the South Texas Blood and Tissue Donor Pavilion with how you can get involved. Good morning, Tiffany.
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. Not only will they be bringing awareness, but they're going to be shining the light on heroes who have donated in the past, and they're going to bring more information and resources to the community. This morning, we have Diana with the South Texas Blood and Tissue, and tell us a little bit more about this morning. What's happening?
Good morning. So we are having an event today called Diverse Donations, and it is to create awareness about tissue and organ donation.
We have some images up here on the screen.
Yes. This is Precious Coleman, and her husband Brian was an organ and tissue donor, and she's sharing a little bit about their story as a donor family.
There's going to be another hero that they're going to be honoring today. Tell me about his story.
Yes, David Menchaca was a 21-year-old who passed away and was able to donate his liver to his uncle. So the Menchaca family will be here today sharing their personal story as well.
Several organizations involved today.
Yes, University Health Transplant Institute, Texas, San Antonio Eye Bank, Texas Organ Sharing Alliance, ourselves are going to be here, and Donate Life Texas, which is how you register to become a donor for organ and tissue donation.
Thousands and thousands of people are waiting for a transplant. Tell me about that.
Yes, there's over 100,000 people waiting on our national transplant list.
And then also in the percentage of multicultural communities. It's big.
Yes, from that list, there's 60% come from multi-ethnic communities and backgrounds.
I'm excited to learn a little bit more about all of this morning. Where can people donate?
So you can sign up to become an organ and a tissue donor at donatelifetexas.org, or you can stop by our event today. We will have all these partners will be here, and you can find out more about how to donate with each of those organizations.
Perfect. And we're going to have all that information on KSAT.com, and we'll bring you more coming up on the noon show. We'll send it back to you for now.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Go outside with Live Cam, one day closer to the weekend, wrapping up the month of August. All I can say is thank goodness.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Let's move on.
We are ready to get right into September. It was a rough month. We're going to end up averaging above 100 for the high temperature in the month of August. It's going to go down as the hottest month on record. And if you're looking at the summer as a whole, hottest summer we've seen on record. So there's records going down left and right. We don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about the good news. I say that. The drought monitor doesn't really provide a lot of good news. We have exceptional drought that has started to really take hold here around our area. Now, it's been in the hill country really all year long. We've known that, but it is now starting to spread to East Texas, so Houston, Galveston over to Beaumont, and then also here in Bexar County. So all of Bexar County now within the exceptional drought. That is as bad as it gets. That means the soil moisture is completely gone, just to put it into context. I mean, so this is very, very dry. And this is including the rains that we got from Tropical Storm Harold, if you'll remember, wasn't enough. So the drought conditions mean we have a high fire danger again today. We'll see that in this area that's shaded in dark orange. But really any part of the area, the way things are going, if we do get some gustier winds, which I don't expect winds to be all that strong today, then the fire danger is going to be elevated, and these fires can spread very quickly just because there's so much fuel out there with these drought conditions we have in place. 81 right now. Northeasterly winds at about 6. It's another dry start to the day. Low humidity levels stick with us. And we also need to mention that it's another ozone action day. So for those who are bothered by ozone, we are in the unhealthy since those who are sensitive to that kind of thing category. Just a heads up there. As we look at the high temperatures today, we're expecting to be around 102 this afternoon, 99 Fair Oaks Ranch, 102 in Bandera, 101 in Hondo. Another very hot day, another triple-digit day. So it'll make number 64 for the year. Pretty incredible. It is also another CPS Energy yellow day. I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record here, but this is where we've been each and every day. So they're asking you to conserve energy between 3 and 9 p.m. And there are some things you can do here to help conserve and help protect the Texas energy grid, which at last check with ERCOT, looks like we'll be okay today. But still, it is a yellow day from CPS Energy. Dew point trend. We'll see those dew points drift down into the low to mid 50s this afternoon. That is pretty dry air, which means there's no sort of heat index or anything like that, but it makes for nice mornings and nice evenings, but still very hot during the afternoon hours with those high temperatures in the triple digits. Here's the latest on IDALIA. It is moving now off the coast of North Carolina after wreaking havoc yesterday in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. Damage reported in all 3 of those states, and a lot of flooding in Florida. But this is starting to move east and move off the coasts into the open Atlantic. Last check, winds are at 60 miles per hour, gusting to 70, and this is moving east-northeast at 20. It kind of jumps around here. May take aim at Bermuda by next week, but will be a tropical storm, will not be as strong. And with that in mind, with IDALIA making landfall yesterday along the Florida coast, we know that it has been a very busy 6 years in the Gulf of Mexico. Pretty incredible. These are major hurricanes, okay? So we're talking Category 3 and above. We've had 8 of them since 2017, just over the last 6 years here in the Gulf, making landfall. And these were all big hurricanes: Harvey, Laura, Zeta, Ida, Michael, you name it. Florida hit pretty hard. Texas, we know what happened with Harvey. So it's just been busy in the tropics. And part of that, I think, is due to the warmer waters there in the Gulf of Mexico. 101 Friday, 101 Saturday, 100 Sunday. We'll see triple digits going into next week. The Labor Day weekend is going to be toasty. And coming up next half hour, as we showed you earlier this morning, we'll talk about when that average first front could arrive. So we'll provide some hope in the forecast.
We hope so.
Yes.
We hope so.
Yes.
Thank you, Justin.
Let's take you live to the Bexar County Courthouse, where Sasha Scar could learn her fate today.
Both the state and defense rested their cases yesterday afternoon, and closing arguments are set to begin soon.
That's right. We believe the judge is giving instructions for deliberations, and then we are expecting closing arguments this morning. Scar took the stand in her own defense, claiming she didn't mean to hurt Martel DeRowan, but only to get his attention when the gun went off. After closing arguments are made, the jury will begin their deliberations.
We can watch the trial live on our website, KSAT Plus, or our YouTube page. The jury finds Scar guilty. She faces up to life in prison.
9:20, 81 degrees.
When we come back, how city officials are hoping to make it safer for new mothers to surrender their babies when they realize they cannot care for them. And welcome back. It's 9:23. The Safe Haven Law, also known as the Baby Moses Law, allows parents to surrender their babies up to 60 days old at designated safe places like fire stations or hospitals. But now, as Garrett Berger tells us, the city plans to take advantage of a change to the law that could make a safe surrender easier on the birth parent making that difficult decision.
The 12-year-old Bella Cobb just started 7th grade. She plays flute in the band and plans to try out for the tennis team. She's happy in the family she's grown up with, though it's not the one she was born into.
They chose the name Isabella, meaning beautiful, and Grace, meaning a second chance, a beautiful second chance.
In 2011, when Bella was just 2 days old, her birth mother surrendered her to a firefighter under the state's safe haven law. But Councilman John Courage says that face-to-face handoff might be too much for some, such as a teen mom.
What kind of fear would she feel? What kind of humiliation might she feel in doing something like that?
The Texas legislature changed the law this year to also allow for the use of special alarmed boxes at police or fire stations and other safe spots, where parents would be able to leave their baby completely anonymous, but also safely. The city's proposed budget for next year includes money to install 12 of the boxes at San Antonio fire stations, something Courage has advocated for.
We hope to kind of create a ring of safety, so to speak, where it's an easy opportunity for anyone to go to one of these.
But he and other advocates say people still don't know there are safe alternatives to simply abandoning a baby, like police say 2 people did at the back of a church last month in triple-digit heat. Bella's family hopes the boxes will make it easier for birth parents to make a good choice.
For other mothers in our city, there's always hope. There's always a chance for you to do something good for your child if they're in an unsafe or not in good environment.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
9:25, 82 degrees. There's more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including sensory-friendly screenings. We're explaining what those are and how it is making the movie experience better for those who are sensitive to loud noises and bright lights.
Plus the training Bexar County patrol deputies will do in order to help stop someone from overdosing on fentanyl. Hurricane IDALIA now downgraded to a tropical storm after cutting a deadly path through Florida on Wednesday.
As the system makes its way out to sea, people are waking to find some communities forever changed. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez has the latest on the damage from Crystal River, Florida.
It was quite a storm. It was a bad one.
Hurricane IDALIA wreaking havoc on Florida's Big Bend Wednesday.
These are all little old school Florida villas, and they were just picked up and carried into the Gulf.
The first major hurricane to hit this part of the state in over 100 years. The Category 3 storm downed trees and flooded homes as the sea surged onto shore, leaving entire communities underwater.
Every house on my block's got water damage. It's prone to flooding, but nothing like this.
The damage likely changing some of those communities forever.
There are some communities that may never look the same and others that will get rebuilt that will look slightly different. And so, look, this is a life-changing event.
Some residents left shaken.
Just came in before we can get out, man, like so quick. We're trying to get in the truck and it's up to barely able to get the doors open.
And heartbroken.
And it hurt because I raised my kids up in this trailer.
The storm hugged Georgia's coast and moved across the Carolinas. And as it moves offshore, the extent of the damage can be assessed and the journey to recovery can begin.
I was really sad, and I'm trying not to get emotional, but this is a beautiful town. The people are wonderful, and I hate seeing my people go through something like this.
In Crystal River, Florida, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Let's look out there with live cam. So we're warming up a little bit, slowly but surely. We're at 83. We started in the 70s. We know it's going to get hot this afternoon, Justin, but at least the mornings have been nice.
Yeah, the mornings have been nice. We have lower humidity, which does help with the mornings and evenings. And by the way, just seeing some of those pictures out of Florida, a lot of devastation there. They'll be doing cleanup for some time. IDALIA, another major hurricane to hit here along the Gulf Coast. All right, I want to take you outside, not live, but last night we saw the beautiful blue supermoon, which is fairly rare. Mike Jones sent this in, and I love this shot. It's very cool. We had a lot of great shots from our photographers across South Texas. We have plenty of them on our KSAT Connect, and we appreciate you sending in these pictures. A beautiful, beautiful shot of that. And by the way, we've compiled some of those pictures, and we have a story on our website on KSAT.com if you want to check it out. Pollen count is in. Molds are high today, 1,720, so they jumped back up from where they were yesterday, but we lost the fall elm. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast, noontime 94. We'll make it up to around 102 by 5 p.m., mostly sunny. No rain chance today, and it will still be in the low 90s, even around 9 o'clock. So if you're going out to some of those Thursday night high school football games, know that it is going to be very warm, but the good news there, lower humidity, guys.
Good news, that accident we saw earlier on 35 South has now cleared. Scanning cameras around town, things look good. We have a couple of stalled vehicles, but no accidents here in Metro San Antonio.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office is unveiling its new fentanyl policy. It involves training for deputies and a new protocol for the way they investigate fentanyl-related deaths. Sheriff Javier Salazar sat down with our Stefania Jimenez to tell us how the new policies can save lives.
I think a policy to keep everybody safe is a good idea.
Relief is what Cristina Villagrana felt when she read the new fentanyl policy from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. The 8-page document explains how Bexar County deputies should handle people suspected of having taken fentanyl or of being exposed to it.
Even though they may have knowingly ingested the drug, they may have thought they were ingesting something else.
The policy states the primary goal of the Sheriff's Office is to, quote, preserve lives by utilizing techniques designed to stop the loss of life and expediting medical treatment, end quote. So now all Bexar County patrol deputies and those who work in the jail are trained to administer Narcan if they think that someone is overdosing on opioids.
We don't have the luxury of calling for EMS and waiting.
But in cases where someone has already passed away from fentanyl, deputies have a new way of investigating. Now, Bexar County deputies will immediately treat those cases as homicides.
If we have a suspected fentanyl poisoning, we need to get in there, get access to that cell phone, start locking down social media accounts, because the fact is a lot of these commercial exchanges are done on social media.
The point, the sheriff says, is for investigators to find the supplier, charge them, and stop them from selling the deadly drug to anyone else.
If we understood it more, we would have a healthier respect for what this drug can do, what it is, and the potential that it has to be disastrous for families in our communities.
Like Christina's, her son, Kyle Hinkle, died from fentanyl poisoning last year in Atkins. He was just 28 years old. She hopes this new policy also inspires parents to talk to their kids about fentanyl. A conversation, she says, could save families a lot of grief.
Happy birthday to you. The kids still don't understand that there's fentanyl in everything. So they can't even experiment. They just can't try it, or it's not worth it. And the parents need to, be paying attention to anything.
And that was our Stefania Jimenez reporting. There are many details in the sheriff's new fentanyl policy, so we included the entire document on our website, along with more Stefania's conversation with Sheriff Salazar. You can get there by scanning the QR code on your screen, and while you're there, check out all the information we have on fentanyl, understanding the drug, how it affects people, and where to get help if you suspect someone is addicted.
Heads up, if you have business to take care of at the driver's license office, try to take care of it today. All driver's license offices and customer service centers will be closed statewide starting, I believe, tomorrow. This is due to a system update over the Labor Day weekend. Offices and phone lines are set to reopen, but not until Tuesday, September 5th. The state is expected to appeal a Travis County judge's ruling blocking a state law that critics argue severely restricts what issues cities could tackle themselves. The ruling agrees with local city leaders and others around the state, saying it's unconstitutional. House Bill 2127, or as opponents call it, the Death Star bill, was supposed to take effect tomorrow. Last month, San Antonio, Houston, and El Paso all joined in a lawsuit against the state that claims the bill conflicts with a part of the state constitution that allows cities to establish their own local laws. Mayor Ron Nirenberg says San Antonio was not planning on making any changes to city laws while this bill was being challenged.
There was such a lack of clarity and such a strong conviction on our part that this is unconstitutional and that it was simply a political power grab by its authors, that we are preparing and have been preparing to move forward as is.
Meanwhile, there are several new laws that are going into effect beginning tomorrow. So coming up today on the news at noon, our Mara Arthur breaks down some of the more notable changes and explains how they will affect you.
Week 2 of high school football kicks off tonight. Here's a look at some of the matchups. South San is facing Sotomayor at Ferris Stadium. Marshall taking on Laredo United in Laredo. Holmes is hosting MacArthur at Gus Stadium. And it's McCollum versus Highlands at Alamo Stadium. All these games kicking off at 7 p.m.
And make sure to download our BGC app to stay up to date with your favorite high school team. They will be updating the scores throughout the night, and you can find all the highlights on the app and on KSAT.com.
We have a big game forecast coming up, but for now it's 9:37, 83 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
Still to come, what some AMC theaters are doing to help children who suffer from sensory overload so they can enjoy movies on the big screen like everyone else.
Sorry, we're talking high school football.
Yes,
UIL
we're super
alignments
excited. Super excited.
Very excited.
Yeah, I don't know. The Flamingos won't be playing football today, but it's a nice day out there.
No, I mean, there's a nice offensive line of Flamingos there along the water line.
Get ready for Thursday night football.
Always a great day to go to the zoo. All right, I said big game forecast, and it's weird to say. It seems like we just started and we're already in week 2.
Yeah.
It is hard to imagine, right? And usually by like week 3 or 4, it finally starts to feel a little bit more like football weather, but tonight's not that night. It is going to be warm. Sunset's around 7:57, so kickoff somewhere around 98 degrees. Take plenty of water with you. At least the humidity will be lower, so there is that. Yeah, okay, so let's jump into the forecast here. I want to talk about the summer. We know that today we're going to be in the triple digits, so we will finish out August on a very, very hot note. Warmest month on record. But as you look at the summer as a whole, June, July, August, it's also going to be the hottest summer on record. By a pretty good margin, too. I mean, pretty incredible after the fact that after 2022, which was a very, very hot summer, we'll keep it going into September as well. But I did want to share that with you. Almost every day above average, minus a few days to start June. And what about our first front? When are we going to get it? When do we start to see cold fronts? Well, it's not a perfect science here, and there's a wide range, wide time frame here in which we can see fronts. But if you look at the last 6 years or so, 2022, October 16th, 2019, October 11th, 2016 and 2017, late September, same for 2018 and 2021. And in 2020, we got it pretty early, September 4th. Now, when we define the first front here, we're looking at a 10-degree drop in the high temperature. Again, it's not a perfect science, but this gives you kind of a general idea when you finally get a front that you can feel. And when you average all that out, it's late September. So that's when we can start to look for some of these cold fronts to come through and actually cool us down. And we could see some cooler nights and nice mornings. That sounds great. It will happen. We just got to wait a little while longer. It's not in the near-term forecast. 81 right now. New Braunfels is at 81. Seguin 79. Bernie and Kerrville now in the 80s. So we're warming up. Notice though there is not a heat index, and that's because the air is pretty dry. We've got dew points now in the upper 50s. That's not bad, especially for this time of the morning. So that puts us in the pleasant category with regards to humidity, not temperature, but humidity. And we'll continue to see that dry air going into this evening, so it'll feel nice this evening and again tomorrow morning. You look at the water vapor imagery, which shows us where the dry air is in mid-levels of the atmosphere. We've got plenty of it here across Texas. So that's very stable air, and we've got dry air at the surface too. So basically, very little going on. I don't know that we'll see a lot of cloud cover today. Temperatures make it up to 92 at 11 o'clock, 94 noontime. We're up to 101 by 4 o'clock, and 102 is our high. Mostly sunny with east-northeasterly winds anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Okay, let's talk tropics real quick because it's heating up there. We've got a lot going on in the Atlantic. Obviously, we have IDALIA, which is starting to move away, but Franklin's still a Category 2 hurricane. That's moving north, not towards land. We've got another system here with a 30% chance of development. A new tropical storm, Jose, which is also going to move north, should not affect land. And then we have a system closer to Africa, which this is one we probably should watch. 70% chance of development there, but we have plenty of time to watch it as it works its way across the Atlantic. We are headed towards the peak of hurricane season, so it is to be expected things would heat up there, and they certainly are. If we get another named storm, Katia is next in line, followed by Lee and Margot, and we've had quite a few named storms this year. 101 Friday, 101 Saturday, 100 Sunday, 100 on Labor Day as well. Pretty quiet forecast even going into next week, and maybe we slip below 100 degrees by Wednesday of next week, guys.
Thank you, Justin. A video about going to the movies, which you see part of right here, is going viral, not because of the blockbusters on the big screen, but because of the inclusive nature of the experience.
ABC's Morgan Norwood tells us more about sensory-friendly screenings and how more theaters are offering them.
Going to the movies is a classic family outing, right? But for many with special needs, it can cause a lot of stress. Well, we're here inside AMC theaters where they're offering sensory-friendly screenings. Come with me while I show you how it works.
Right here. At first, Joshua Robinson had the room all to himself. The superhero fanatic,
Marvel and DC fan.
The first to show up for a movie he couldn't wait to see.
Because Blue Beetle is playing today, and I want to see how good it really is.
Inside this screening of Blue Beetle, the theater is a little quieter and a little brighter. The lights left on and the sound adjusted for those with sensitivities associated with autism or other special needs.
What can you expect? Typically, when you're in a movie theater, it's dark, you expect silence. But with this showing and this offering, you get that opportunity to be you, be yourself, and have that freedom to sing and dance along with and walk around the auditorium if you like.
With a growing movement toward autism awareness and inclusion, there's an emphasis on providing sensory-friendly experiences for families with children on the spectrum. Camille Robinson says she struggled to find activities for her 5-year-old son Mason, who is nonverbal and on the spectrum.
The last movie we went to, he was 2 and he couldn't sit. He was loud because he vocal stems and he disturbed everyone, so we had to leave.
Robinson then learned about sensory-friendly screenings. She took this video of Mason singing and moving freely throughout the theater during The Little Mermaid, and it went viral on TikTok.
Mason is nonverbal, so that means he will not have a conversation with us. But for days after the movie theaters, he was singing Under the Sea. That let me know he enjoyed it.
For Camille and Mason, the transformational impact of sensory-friendly films is about more than just accommodations. It's about inclusion.
It's important because our children deserve to be included. They're beautiful children, and more places need to just open up and create space so that we, those parents who would never be thought about, can go and enjoy family time with our little ones too.
And AMC offers these sensory screenings twice a month, and many other theater chains offer similar experiences. Just check the listings near you. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
And our producers checked AMC, Santikos, and Regal Theaters websites to see if they had any sensory-friendly screenings coming up. And while we didn't find any current listings, it does look like at least Santikos Theaters here in San Antonio have offered these special screenings before.
So if you're interested in them, check back with your local theater.
And time now is 9:48 and 84 degrees for now.
Speaking of movies, a new month begins tomorrow. That means new movies in theaters. We'll have a preview of what's coming to the big screen in September when we come back. (9:51), welcome back. We want to take you live to the Bexar County Courthouse where the woman you see there, Sasha Scar, could learn her fate today.
That's right. Both the state and defense rested their cases yesterday afternoon, and closing arguments are wrapping up. The defense attorney just wrapped up their closing arguments for the case.
All right, so you can see the proceedings continue. Scar is charged with murder in the shooting death of Martel DeRoan. DeRoan was found dead inside his apartment in the La Cantera area back on January 26th of 2021.
And according to an arrest affidavit, Scar was in a relationship with DeRoan at the time of his death, and investigators believe that they got into an argument and that Scar allegedly shot DeRoan through the door of his apartment on January 22nd.
Now, DeRoan was known a known San Antonio rapper and was related to singing sensation Beyonce. Scar was arrested weeks later, according to arrest affidavit surveillance footage from the apartment complex, which put Scar at the scene.
And recently, Scar declined a plea deal, which is why she was in trial this week.
All right, so Scar took the stand in her own defense, claiming she didn't mean to hurt Martel DeRoan, but only get his attention when the gun went off. After closing arguments are made, the jury will begin their deliberations.
And right now you can watch the trial live on our website, KSAT Plus, or your YouTube page. Now, if the jury finds Scar guilty, she faces up to life in prison. And if you've been to a Spurs game, you may have seen this woman. Now, she's one of the biggest San Antonio Spurs fans, and she's always dressed from head to toe in Spurs gear. And she recently went viral for driving all the way to Massachusetts to meet Coach Pop when he was inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Well, tomorrow, right here on GMSA at 9, SA Live's Jen Tobias Strusky takes us inside her Spurs-inspired home and shares her story about her love for the silver and black. She has such a high-spirited personality, and it's contagious. So you don't want to miss that story tomorrow on GMSA at 9. I've seen her before. I don't think I've met her.
She's super nice. I've met her actually at a Spurs game.
And that was a great picture of her with Wemby, right?
Yes, and really you will probably meet her very soon because she is at every Spurs event.
Well, while studios are starting to change film release dates due to the Hollywood strikes, like the second part of Dune, there are still some marquee movies heading to theaters each week in the upcoming month of September.
CNN's Rick Damigella gives us a look at some of the new films coming to the big screen.
9 seconds. September at the movies kicks off with Denzel Washington in The Equalizer 3, arriving in theaters tomorrow.
A lot has happened since my big fat Greek wedding.
The Portocalos family are back in My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. The family reunion begins September 8th. This demon was once an angel. The 8th also marks the start of scary movie season when The Nun 2 creeps into theaters.
Somebody is dead. No one shall leave this place until I know who did it.
Kenneth Branagh is back in front of and behind the camera in his latest Agatha Christie adaptation, A Haunting in Venice, opening on the 15th.
It's time to get loud.
Things go boom in The Expendables 4. Sylvester Stallone's Squad is back in theaters September 22nd. I still have a lot of work that needs to be done. Opening on the 29th is Saw X with Tobin Bell back in the role of the serial killer Jigsaw.
I think we got superpowers.
And that's why I wear a hard hat.
And for more family-friendly fare, the Paw Patrol pups power up when Paw Patrol the Mighty Movie pounces into theaters September 29th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Who doesn't love Paw Patrol?
You're so cute.
102 coming up later this afternoon, 101 tomorrow. Hot weekend, hot Labor Day weekend. If you have plans to be outside, it's going to be very toasty. Now, the one takeaway here and what we're really feeling today is the lower humidity. So there is a positive there. We'll probably see that next couple days.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, the lower humidity.
It does. The mornings and the evenings feel great. It's a little easier to take the dog on a walk in the morning or the evening when it feels a little bit drier out there. You don't have that heat index to worry about either. And as far as rain goes, pretty much out of the forecast. So this drought's only going to get worse.
And I recall some late September or early October days where we talk about Friday Night Football and maybe you might want to take a light jacket. So we're still looking forward to those days.
We'll get there. We will, I promise.
Yeah, we trust you.
Yeah.
We know it'll happen. Thank you, Justin.
Have a great day.
Bye, guys.